How can you spot bad athletes in the football world? You will see these everywhere. And this is a video showing you how not to be athletic as a footballer. Now, have you ever wondered what are the signs of being a poor athlete? And sadly, they are all too common nowadays in the so-called modern sports world. And why is that? Because the moment we're born, we are being sabotaged from A to Z. We're being put in chairs, behind iPads, wearing thick cushioned shoes. We aren't allowed to go outside on the streets and play with our neighbors and have fun and play games on the playground. Everything is cushioned, everything's protected, everything's safe, everything is a bubble. Without that nourishment, without that environment to foster your intrinsic functionality from the day you're born, you will lose it. Nature is ruthless. She will not keep something if it's not being used. If you don't use it, you will lose it. So number one, what is a sign of being a bad athlete? I'll say one of the most obvious things is how you walk. If you have a hunch, a limp, if you just look unathletic, you definitely are. Now, why is that? It's because in nature, this partnership of form and function was built into us. It's because you didn't have time to study a predator. If that predator looked dangerous, looked athletic, looked strong, you ran. And that was our brain's way of survival, ensuring survival, by coming up with faster responses. Now, this translates over to the modern football world where we see people that look athletic, and usually they are. So if you walk with a hunch, if a coach thinks you aren't athletic, based on how you look, he will factor that into his decision making. Number two, if you lack confidence. This is obvious. If you are unsure about yourself, if you're unsure about your ability to make tackles, to win headers, to jump, to sprint, to dribble, to score, that will carry over into how you look, your appearance. And like we just mentioned before, if you have a hunch, if you're always looking out, if you're always looking down at the ground, if you're nervous, you will look nervous. So stop being nervous and you won't look nervous anymore. Very simple, but most people will never get that in their entire lives. Number three, thick, meaty quads. Now, why is this in here? Well, it's because thick, meaty quads are an adaptation to weightlifting. There's very, very, very few athletes that are at the highest level that have thick, meaty quads. And if they do, they were literally born with it. Why is thick, meaty quads created by gym work? It's because, again, as we mentioned before, weightlifting enforces quad dominance. It breaks down ankle stiffness, which then takes you away from fascial dominance. Of course, the result is your quads being engaged more and doing more of the work. So then you have bigger quads, smaller glutes, smaller hamstrings, and a more painful back. Number four, soft, weak feet. If you have weak feet, you're not going to be athletic. Your feet are literally your tires, your force absorption. They're the only thing that touches the ground that you walk, jump, and run on. So if those things are soft and weak, you will not be performing very well. Number five, if you're clumsy, if you're not coordinated, if you're generally not very fast, this is the obvious sign that you're not athletic. You need to be able to think fast in the body and the mind to be athletic. Number six, I can definitely tell that you're not a great footballer, or at least you're not that athletic on the football pitch if you're bad at other sports. Cross-training is a cheat code to becoming more athletic. If you're not taking advantage of that, get on it right away because you're missing out. Number seven, low appetite. If you're not hungry in the morning, that's a big sign that your circadian rhythm is not working correctly. You need to sleep on time, wake up early in the morning, get some sunrise, get grounded, go outside, go for a walk, and you should have a healthy appetite first thing in the morning, followed by a healthy trip to the bathroom. Number eight, if it's super hard for you to build muscle, this also is a sign of poor circadian rhythm and poor leptin sensitivity. You need to fix both of these things because it literally, if you can't build muscle, then you're not going to be able to adapt to the sport you're playing. Fix your health. Get world-class health, and then let's talk about world-class speed or power or jumping or strength and just in general, athletic ability. Number nine, no smile. If you're always so stressed on the pitch, if you're always so nervous and so worried and so scared, and you always have a frown, if you're always so tense and so dense, this is the opposite of being athletic because you're too nervous. You're worried that you're going to fail. The best players are calm, they're reserved, They're smiling because they know this comes easy to them. They got it in the bag. It's easy peasy. Walk in the park. That's how you should be thinking about your performance. And coaches love to see confidence on the pitch. Number 10, if your calves are always burning, I can tell you probably don't have good ankle stiffness, and you probably don't have glute dominance, and you definitely don't have any level of fascial awareness. Number 11, if you're always agitated, if you're always hesitating, I can tell that you're unsure about your ability to perform. Because when you're athletic, you don't hesitate, you act. You move with speed and power and precision. You take the initiative. You are on the front foot. Those are all things that come with being a top athlete. So if you're unsure about those things, consider that you have some work to do on your ability to move as an athlete. Number 12, if you make weird, irrational decisions, I'm going to question your sanity. I'm going to question your mental well-being as far as being an athlete. Coaches want players that can perform at the highest level under the pressure. If you can't handle the pressure, you won't be put onto that stage. Lastly, number 13, if you have beliefs about yourself that are limiting, if you tell yourself, I can't, or here's why I can't do this and can't do that. If you're always telling yourself why you can't do something, then you definitely won't be able to do those things. If you self-sabotage, you're definitely not a great athlete, because your subconscious does not believe you deserve to be a top athlete. So you definitely won't become one. And definitely other people will not believe in you. Guys, that was day 14 of Football Entangled's 30 for 30. My name is Taylor Davidson. Welcome and goodbye. I'll see you tomorrow morning for day 15. Talk soon.